Hi there, it's so good to be with you as we have our assembly today. My name is Reverend Gemma Stock and I'm doing this assembly with my friend Lee Dowling. Together we're going to be thinking about Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day. As we start our time, we'd love it if you would just have a little think, maybe write down or chat with somebody else, perhaps a grown-up who's with you. What words do you associate with Mother's Day? We'll see you again in a minute.
Hey everybody, my name's Lee, and as Gemma said to you before, our assembly is all about Mothering Sunday, or Mother's Day, you might know it by. So when we paused the video, what did you guys come up with thinking about Mother's Day? What sort of words and images did you come up with? I bet you came up with quite a few. So the things that I think of when I hear Mother's Day are things such as daffodils, flowers, because Mother's Day is at March time, isn't it? And that's when there's lots of daffodils starting to grow because it's spring and everything is springing back into life after winter. And sometimes you might see daffodils growing out in fields, or you might have some in your garden if you have a garden, but they're a really pretty flower and people give them to each other as well. You might also think for Mother's Day about chocolate, yummy chocolate, because we might give that to someone for Mother's Day, or make a card for someone, or buy a card for someone, or you might bake a cake, or you might do a really nice painting for someone, just as a way of saying thank you. So Mother's Day's been around for quite a while, and there's been lots of different traditions that go with Mother's Day. So let's have a look at a few of those now. Take a look at this.
On Mother's Day, Christians would return to their mother church. This was the main church in the town, where perhaps they were baptised. Children would be waved off and leave home as young as 10 years old. You might have been a maid or a chimney sweep, and you wouldn't be allowed home very often. But on Mother's Day, you could have the day off. Some children would pick wild flowers for their mothers to give to them, to say thank you for caring for me. And during Lent, people had a time of refreshing and relaxing on Mother's Day, and perhaps they baked a simnel cake, which has lots of fruit and 11 balls of marzipan for each of Jesus' disciples.
Wow, lots of traditions there associated with Mother's Day. I didn't know some of those. So let's have a recap. What did we see? Well, we saw people going back to their mother church. It's where we get that word mother from, isn't it? Mother church. And that's the church where they may have been baptised. It was certainly the main church in their town or their village, and they'd go there to worship on that particular day. We also saw children as young as 10, maybe as young as you guys, if any of you are 10 or coming up to 10, being sent out to work. Can you imagine not having any fun at school and learning and playing with your friends? Off you go to work. But they got Mother's Day off as a day off where they could travel home and pick flowers and give them to their mum and be with their mum or the person that takes care of them. We looked at a traditional cake, a simnel cake, didn't we? And we looked at a day where people might stop during Lent and come together and relax a bit and think about things, and perhaps they can not worry about what they've given up to eat for Lent on that particular day. It was a day to come together and be refreshed in their mind, body and spirit, and just move forward for the rest of Lent up to Easter. So there was lots of different traditions surrounding Mother's Day. So who are the people that look after you? Could be different women like your mum or nan or auntie or a cousin or a teacher. We've all got different women in our lives that look after us and take care of us. And it's really important that we show our thanks to them in some way.
So we've heard some really interesting things about Mother's Day, and I hope it's given you an opportunity to think about why it is important. As we come towards the end of our assembly, I'm wondering if we can perhaps have a little think about what we might do to say thank you or show our gratitude to someone who cares for us. We'll give you a minute to do that.
Thanks, Gemma. So I wonder, after all the different things that we've spoken about today and looked at today, have your words and your images changed to the ones that you had at the start of assembly when we heard the words Mother's Day? Have any other thoughts come into your head, or have any other words come into your head associated with Mother's Day? It'd be interesting to see, if you wrote a list down at the beginning of assembly, if there are any different words at the end of assembly. Thank you for being with us today. Have a think about what we've spoken of through our assembly today. And if someone in your life looks after you, takes care of you, and like I said, it could be a mum, nan, cousin, friend, teacher, show your thanks to them. Just say thank you for caring for me. And that could be in any way. It could be you talking to them and saying that, or it could be you making something for them, a card. It could be you drawing a nice picture. But just have a think about all the things that they do for you and be thankful. Take care, and as always, you've been amazing. Bye.